Today, I want to talk a little bit about the RT10 and the GTS. I am the guy that put 120,000 miles on his RT10 and is still going, and I'll probably continue to drive it until it falls apart. Who knows? But at this point, I'm going to continue to drive it. Perfect night for a topless Viper right now. My car spent most of its life driving around in this kind of nighttime weather. This black car, big hot Viper, just doesn't like the daytime. It's a nighttime marauding interstate cruise missile. The RT10 and the GTS are very similar and totally different. Some people just don't like convertibles. I don't know if they're afraid of fresh air, afraid of being on display. For whatever reason, some people just don't like convertibles. I've always enjoyed convertibles and motorcycles, so to me it's just a natural to have a convertible, especially in Florida. I can't imagine doing 120,000 miles in a Viper that has the top on it. A convertible just takes the whole experience to the next level. You hear the roar of the engine, smell everything around you. It's just a phenomenal feeling, especially in a Viper. There's nothing like a top-off drive in a Viper in the middle of the night. So today I just wanted to discuss in the RT10. It seems like there's a lot of people that just don't like the RT10s, and the RT10s are the ones that started the whole Viper move. If it wasn't for the RT10, you wouldn't have the GTS. The backstory here is when I was originally going to buy a Viper, I was looking at Gen 2 ACRs. This was 2005. And in 2005, Gen 2 Vipers were everywhere for sale. I ended up finding a beautiful yellow ACR at a Jaguar dealer in Sarasota, Florida. It had been there for a couple weeks, and by the time I got everything together and went to buy it, the day that I went to buy it, that morning I got called into work and ended up not getting back to the dealership until later in the afternoon. And that morning, somebody had purchased a car. And there are other cars on the lot, other ACRs. There was a red ACR, exact same year and everything, right next to it. But the yellow one is the one that went. So I really had my heart set on that car. I did my homework and decided that was going to be the one. And then I snoozed and I lost. You know, you snooze, you lose. I snoozed and I lost. I test drove the red ACR they had on the lot, and it just didn't do it for me. I didn't get that good, warm, fuzzy feeling that I needed to get when I'm driving that kind of money. So I just decided to hold off for a while. And then coming through Georgia on a business trip one day, I came across the RT10 sitting up on a big pedestal, you know, one of the displays. And I had some time to kill, so I stopped. So I decided, I think I'm going to buy this car. So I ended up trading in a Mustang Cobra. I drove up to Georgia and made the long trip home one night. It was about 6 hours or 7 hours. It was a great drive back in that Viper at night. I knew it was going to be an interesting car to own when that night I had stopped at the rest area in Gainesville on the way home. And there was a bunch of bikers there. When I came out, everybody was standing around, looking at the car, bunch of questions, the usual. Well, it ends up that there was this crowd of guys standing around my car. Right next to me was a brand new Vet that still had the window sticker on it, and nobody was paying attention to this guy's car. So according to the information I'm looking at, which I've had for quite a while, which I downloaded from theviperregistry.com in 2010, states that the Roadsters, RT10 Roadsters for the year 2000, there were 534 made with the cognac leather interior. Of those, 259 were in black, 255 were red, 296 steel gray. So you would think that in the long run, the RT10s would be the more valuable ones, seeing as there were less made to begin with. Black, 259, exterior red, 255, steel gray, 296. This is for the RT10s now. So according to the information I have, there were 259 black RT10s, 255 red RT10s, and 296 steel gray RT10s built in the model year 2000. Of those interior colors, there were 306 with black, 534 with the cognac Connolly leather. There also lists one car as a one steel gray ACR RT10 with a tan interior and black powder-coated ACR BBS wheels with the VIN number, blah, 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 was a Viper Club of America raffle car in '01. So one interesting tidbit of information I have on my car. My car was originally sold by Bob Wilson Dodge in Tampa, Florida. The window sticker has the name of Mason Dixon as the purchaser. Mason Dixon is a local radio celebrity in the Tampa Bay area. He had the car for about 2,200 miles and traded it in. It went to Naples Dodge. And then from there, it went up to Georgia. I ended up coming across it on the dealer lot in Georgia, and I actually live in Naples, Florida. So it's kind of made the return trip back to Naples. The looks of the RT10 are polarizing. You either love it or you hate it. I love it. It's cartoonish, it's powerful, it's muscular, it's aggressive, it's sexy. It's got all those things that I look for in a vehicle, but it's not practical. An RT10 is not a practical vehicle. You don't buy a vehicle like this because you're looking for practicality. You buy this because you're looking for fun. Besides the difference in the looks, the GTS has a whole different prospective group of owners because of the fact that it's got the hardtop on. Personally, like I stated, I love both of them and would still want a Gen 2 ACR. But I think, to me, I don't understand the lack of love for the RT10 because non-Viper people don't even know the difference between an RT10 and a GTS. They just know a Viper. They don't even realize that there's two different versions of the same car in the same model year. But some people just don't like convertibles as well, whether it's because they don't like the look or they're afraid of them, whatever the case is. That's just how it is. But I would think the RT10s are going to start garnering more respect and more love as time goes on because no traction control, no anti-lock brakes, no nannies to keep you from killing yourself. You learn quickly, and sometimes you learn in the hardest of ways when you own a Viper. As far as the vehicle itself and maintaining it, a Viper is very straightforward and extremely easy to work on yourself. And I've done everything, pretty much everything, except for once the clutch slave went out. I had that done in a shop. Other than that, I've done everything else myself. So I don't know why the Vipers, the RT10s, haven't garnered the attention and the value that they should. They don't make cars like these, like Vipers, anymore. Vipers still to this, other than the Gen 5s, everything to me seems to be underpriced. They don't make these cars anymore. They're never going to make vehicles like this. There's nothing like them out there. Vipers are definitely, should be collectibles. I'm not sure why they're not held in higher esteem than they already are, I guess would be the best way to put it. Because they're a phenomenal vehicle. They're a lot of fun. And used in the right way and for the right purposes, there's nothing like it. But it can be a very scary vehicle for certain people. So if you scare easy, if you frighten easy when it comes to vehicles, this is not the car for you. Buy a Camry or a Civic or something. Beautiful night, early Sunday night with the time change and everything. It's just perfect night for a topless Viper right now.